The reason why I began homeschooling was when she was in preschool, you know, because everybody looks at the best preschool in their neighborhood, right? That's where you're going to take them. So that's what we did. But it was a big chunk of change. And I remember I thought, having been a former anchor and TV reporter, I'm all into research and gathering facts. So I thought I'd stick around and I'd watch her preschool for one day. And so we paid 2 days a week for 2.5 hours each day, a big chunk of change. So I sat there and I thought, okay, I'm just going to watch through the window what happens during this 2.5 hours. And I was astonished to see what I found. They spent time getting water, standing in line. Then they had bathroom breaks, standing in line. And then they had recess breaks. And then they finally had snacks. And then they got to the teaching. And by the time they got to the teaching, I was looking at my clock and I thought, wait a minute, I'm paying you for what? And then when they got to the teaching, I thought, I'm already teaching her that. She already knows her numbers and her ABCs. And so I thought, maybe this was just a bad day. I'll come back. You know, I come back on a Thursday. And I saw the exact same thing. And that's when I went home and I told my husband, I said, okay, you know, and the homeschooling never even came up because I was not a homeschooler. I was a career gal. I was getting ready to, you know, just go back to work and, yeah, no, staying home was like the last thing. I remember sitting in my rocking chair and dreaming about the big yellow school bus pulling up at the front door. And so, yeah, and then anyway, all of a sudden, I just started meeting homeschoolers, because isn't that how God works? You know, just meeting homeschoolers, and I would tell them about my story, and they say, well, what do you do in any given day? And so I would tell them, and these homeschool moms would say, well, you're homeschooling. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just teaching her little bits and pieces here. She says, no, you are homeschooling. And so that's what I'm going to tell you too. I think I was telling a woman, maybe it was Amy, you know, I said, if all you did was read a book, you know, you are homeschooling. If that's all you did in one day, you read a book and they sat on your lap, how precious. Because you know what? This is what you're giving them, is time. And during that time when you're reading a book, you're creating a moment. You're able to converse with your child. You're establishing a stronger relationship. And ultimately, isn't that what we want? It's not necessarily great grades or the best curriculum or the most education. It's really a great relationship with our children so that when they get older, oh, wow, they will be successful and we will continue to have that strong relationship. And I will tell you, when I talk to my college student, you know, she calls me more than I call her because I don't want to be one of those moms, you know. And so, man, when she calls me, I drop everything. I drop everything. I'm all ears. And for some of you who have teenagers, I just think this works. You know, our teenagers, they're ready to talk when they're ready. Like when I'm ready, they don't want to hear me. They give me the, you know, yeah. But when they're ready, seriously, even if I'm in the bathroom, I'll like, okay, I'll finish this later, flush, you know, and head over. And I'm like, what did you want? Yes, you know, they need me. Finally, you know, because you guys know who has teenagers here. You know, yeah, it's a very different, they're different phrase. I don't want to scare you with those of you having teenagers, but that's just a reality, right? It's just a phase that they go through, and you just parent differently. It's just a different parenting. And so anyway, it's awesome. And so I also, one of the things I learned now that she's in the university is that I parented out of fear, a lot of fear.
And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button. I'd also love to hear from you, so post a comment below. And don't forget to check out my website, myhomeschoolroadmap.com. And remember, been there, done it, and I know you can too.